Welcome to the Coach and Crew Show. Tantor and I are here. We're going to talk about Elimination Chamber that happened, depending on what time you were able to watch it. We'll just say yesterday, Saturday, February 19th, from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And this is going to be full of spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, push pause on our video, watch it, and then come back or accept the spoilers right away. Bill, I've done a little bit of research, and let's just go ahead and start right this. And this ties into maybe one of our other videos that we've already produced, getting heavy comments on. It looks like more and more that Bobby Lashley was never going to wrestle and has not been cleared to wrestle, and that WWE has known for weeks that he was not cleared to wrestle in the Elimination Chamber. The breaking of the glass and the concussion was a storyline spot, and that he was never even put into that. And that makes me very disappointed. I mean, they could have eliminated him out a month ago, and then if Brock wins the belt, fine. In the match, Brock dominated. We expected him to dominate, and him breaking the glass and entering himself in was not scripted. And that glass was not pre-broken. That was 100% Brock being the beast incarnate himself. So
that means Brock was the best part of that match then, because that was the best part of the match.
Yeah. What's your takeaway on the whole Bobby Lashley thing?
Extremely disappointed. That's why I graded that match as low as I did. Bobby Lashley, he didn't deserve to get the belt stripped from him with some type of garbage like that. They could have come out and been straight with everybody else that he's injured and he can't compete. Thus, we have to take the belt off of him. I've thrown out there, you got a three-way ladder match or a fatal four-way or something like that to decide who the champion is. You still could have put that champion in an elimination chamber and have him lose to Brock Lesnar. It's just a shame. I just can't stand how Vince has treated the last two WWE Raw champions. It sucks. Big E and Lashley both got hammered on this.
I agree. And I'll even go one step further. I'm okay if they vacated the title till the Elimination Chamber, and then that winner was the champion, and then they found a replacement, whether it be like a Randy Orton or a Cody Rhodes. That was not going to happen. Or just, hey, make a little battle royal and that winner gets the sixth and final spot. But yeah, be truthful about it. Don't kayfabe that story into a concussion and, oh, well, he also has shoulder surgery. No, you could have announced that the day after Royal Rumble. Lashley celebrates the victory.
I would have enjoyed seeing R-Truth out there. Come on, Drew Gulak's always good for a token appearance, especially you needed a squash. It was a squash match anyway. So why waste some other guy on a squash match? Throw Drew Gulak in there, let him get squashed. That's his role with the company, and go with it.
Hey, how
about Robert Rhodes? Bobby Roode.
Akira Tazwaza, let everybody eliminate themselves, and he crawls out from underneath the ring and eliminates somebody. Or like you said, R-Truth, or our boy who we love that's good at getting squished, Dolph Ziggler. Any of them.
Well, he's over at NXT now, so
I know
they have completely moved him over there. There were so many different angles they could have went to made it enjoyable. Having the Elimination Chamber as a squash match sucks.
It does.
That's supposed to be a premier match. I mean, you already had every match that was scheduled was a squash match.
Yep.
It was the jump.
Here, I will say this. All three matches scheduled now for Mania are true headliners. They got there. I don't like how they got there, but they got there. And those are all three headline matches. Ronda and Charlotte, that's going to be a great fight. I think Charlotte, as good as she is and as top-notch as she is, I think she's going to see that Ronda's even better. But we'll pause on that part. Let's talk about the other Elimination Chamber. And I want to throw out some props to our friends across the pond, the Pinfall Podcast, for people who listen to it on podcasts. Check that out. And one of them made reference to something that I totally appreciate as well. I can't stand it how they came out by popularity. Alexa Bliss was the most popular one. I get that, and I'm fine with that. But since she was the last one to enter, she should have been the one of the two that started the match. Instead, she came out, Phil, you're nodding your head, you know where I'm going with this, and then got into her pod afterwards. Do not like that. They mentioned that as well. I fully agree with them. The only reason I'm not a fan of Bianca Belair is she's got to stop crying every 4.5 seconds. If she can stop crying, I'll like the character.
I'm not a fan of Bianca Belair because she can't wrestle.
Well,
she's a great athlete. Can't take that away from her. But the character that they have her in, she can't wrestle. Watching her reminds me of going to an Olympic sport called gymnastics, where everybody, you got to pause, you got your 10 seconds, you hit your spot, you do your trick, and then the judges judge you. That's Bianca Belair in a wrestling ring. She's not fluid. It doesn't work. I can sit there and pull out her moves. Okay, now she jumps up on the ring and smacks her butt. Now she does a backflip, handstand. I mean, she's got to hit her spots, and it's not connected. It's not fluid. It's just not wrestling. Okay, it's not. And I'm sorry, there's no story being told. There really isn't any action. I've said for the past 2 freaking years, if I am booking her matches, I would make her the modern day Goldberg. Her matches last 35 seconds. I'm going to take her out there. She's going to spear somebody. She's going to pick them up and do what's that? The EST over the back. Boom, it's the finishing move, and it's done. Every match is a squash match. I'm going to run her up to 157 to nothing as far as victories go, and we'll have her take the championship. And then one day we'll have somebody that can actually wrestle come in there and beat her. But having her lose like she lost at SummerSlam, and that one punch to Becky Lynch was crap too. She got crapped on too. So I can't stand anything about her character. I just can't stand
it. They set this up twice now, and they need to run with it. It should be run with at Mania. It's obviously not going to happen, but her and Rhea Ripley, they need to have a match, and they need to have a match on a big stage. Oh, wait, we're 6 weeks from Mania. That'd be a great buildup. They could have had both of them eliminate each other in the chamber and then put either Liv or Alexa Bliss in the main event with Becky Lynch. And then you'd have 4 headline matches, in my opinion, but they didn't do that, so it doesn't matter. All right, let's move on as well. True or false, and I know this is true, but let's hear your justification why. Unless your name is Ronda Rousey, Roman Reigns, or Brock Lesnar, you don't matter in Vince's eyes.
That's definitely true. If you're not selling tickets, if you're not the star, the star, you are not going to be featured. And I am just absolutely shocked that the rumor is that Cody Rhodes is coming back. Why in the hell do you come back to that mess? Period. Why come back? Go do New Japan Wrestling or Impact or something else for a while to get a fresh take and some control. You're not going to get any control in WWE over your booking, period, unless you are Ronda Rousey, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. Well, truthfully, even though I'll give Lesnar and Ronda a lot of credit, they have street cred outside of WWE. They're not full-timers. They're part-timers. They don't put in the work that's necessary like Roman Reigns does, who's there week in and week out. But Roman Reigns is the only full-time wrestler that controls his destiny and can book himself right now. That could easily change.
The only thing I wish they did different, hindsight being full of 2020, with the Elimination Chamber, I wish Brock was not the predictable number 6. He should have been number 1. If he's going to squash everybody and you're going to make that a squash match, let him start one-on-one with Riddle. How the crowd would love to see that. The American crowd. I don't know about the Saudi crowd. Let him squash through that. Put in AJ Styles one-on-one. Let him run through everybody one by one by one by one in the chamber and eliminate every single person like he did. That would have been a better story than him to come in, even breaking the glass is pretty cool. But I don't know. It just didn't set well with me. And I think they could have still had their squash and put Brock over as if you're going to put Brock over and Seth taking it with one F5 and where he's beaten Brock clean doesn't set well
Twice.
with either. Yes. Sorry. Twice.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Twice. But the Saudi Arabian crowd, they're not sophisticated anyway. I was laughing my butt off where they opened the show. Saudi Arabian crowd in Jeddah giving a Jewish man, Bill Goldberg, a standing ovation and cheering him on. I thought that was irony and hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. The second thing that was the funniest thing to me was a Georgia Tech defensive lineman beat the shit out of a UGA defensive lineman, and I loved it. And the third thing that's hilarious is I've met both of those guys, and Bill Goldberg laughed at my ass, and Joe Anawai was a decent dude. There you go. That's my favorite three things about Elimination Chamber.
My favorite thing about that specific match was it was the first one and over and done with. And Phil, to answer your question, you knew what was coming. Why are you still graded so low? Because I'm tired of seeing Goldberg come out and waste 6 minutes and waste a headline match. If he's going to come out, put him against a middle tier guy, okay? You know, him versus Seth Rollins. I also don't know who would win that match.
Drew Gulak.
You know, someone.
Go to Drew Gulak.
How about Hillbilly Jim? All right, or Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You know, somebody in his generation. But no, I'm tired of it. That's why I got the low grade. Okay, I'm shocked it went.
I didn't exactly give him passing. Give him a C because it's exactly what I expected. And thankfully, Roman Reigns put him out of his misery. Didn't let him hurt himself. Last thing we want is Bill Goldberg hurt himself again. Roman Reigns escorted him around the ring, made him look good, gave him a pretty good send over with that spear, let it happen, and then made him tap out. Hey, that's great.
You say not hurt himself, though. Did you see the cut in the top of his head, though, that he gave himself?
He always has that cut on the top of his head.
Okay.
He's had that cut on the top of his head for 30 years.
Okay. All right. That's Elimination Chamber. We already know the headlines. Hopefully the build up now for the next 6 weeks is good. They were originally going to have a Fastlane pay-per-view. That's apparently been scraped. So no Fastlane pay-per-view this year. So 6 weeks of build up to Mania, which it needs to be. That part I do like. So no mid-card pay-per-view in between. The 3 belts are already there. What would be your next best match you'd like to see happen at Mania, given where the storylines look like they're going?
Truthfully, I'd like to see a Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I know we're not going to have that. It's going to be Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn. So whatever. I'd like to see Kevin Owens square up against somebody entertaining. I would like to see Seth Rollins square up against somebody entertaining. I would like to see AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. That's what I'd like to see. I would like to see that headline one of the nights.
AJ Styles, Seth Rollins could open WrestleMania on Saturday, and that would get a 10.0 in my book.
I don't think that's going to happen now.
I don't either.
No doubt.
I don't either. What I do think is going to happen, and I'm not looking forward to it because I want bigger and better for the guy. Drew McIntyre is destined to face Happy Corbin at Mania. I'm done with that. I want Corbin. I want McIntyre to have bigger and better, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen at Mania.
Oh. Ugh.
And another one I want bigger and better is Sheamus. Maybe he'll get relegated to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and win that, and maybe that can give him something. The winner of that needs to have something if they're going to do that. A shot at a title.
Well, look, I mean, we both know that Sheamus needs to hook back up with Cesaro and do the bar again. That was a great tag team, but we all know what Vince thinks about tag teams.
I'm going to go one step further. I want to create a stable, and it doesn't need to be League of Nations. All right, put his Nashville best friend in there. That's Drew McIntyre. Put Cesaro, and then bring back Finn Balor. The four of those, make them all heels. That could be the stable of all stables.
Hey, I'll second that vote. That would be fantastic. But we all know Vince hates Finn Balor, so he hates him. But he could have Finn Balor be the one that eats all the pins.
Yeah. So that to me would be the best thing I would love to see go forward. All right. 6 weeks to Mania. Check us out, coachingcrewshow.com. Scrolling on the bottom this entire time has been my mathematical rankings throughout this. So check out our website, subscribe to our show, and give us our feedback of which match that you thought sold the best.
One final thing from Tantor. Please, God, no Stone Cold Steve Austin in a match at WrestleMania. Stone Cold, stay out of the ring. You can do a promo. You can do whatever you want. Just don't wrestle again. Just leave it alone.
I second that. I'll be okay if you try to have a beer with somebody and stun him and then see how good your catching skills remain.
I'll have a beer with you and you can stun me. I'm perfectly okay with that. But do not get in there and have a match. Let's leave it as your career. That was perfect.
One last thing while I'm thinking about it. Congratulations, Undertaker. You are the first inductee to this year's Hall of Fame class in Texas. It's a perfect send-off for you. coachingcrewshow.com, and make sure you subscribe and comment below. Thanks for watching.